Okay, so we are now recording again. Thank you all so much for being here. If you are able to, for this portion of the for orientation, to please mute your screen, mute your microphone, just so everyone's able to hear clearly the content that's going to be presented here today. So yeah, we are looking forward to having you all here, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome again to your new student orientation. All right, so I want to introduce our first speaker for today. He is the Director of Recruitment and Orientation here at the University of Memphis, and he wants to give a welcome to you all. So without further ado, here is Kyle Nixon.
All right, thank you, Brian, and thank you all for joining us. Like Brian said, my name is Kyle Nixon, and I am the Director of Recruitment and Orientation here at the University of Memphis. So on behalf of Dr. Rudd, our president of the university, and our campus community, I want to welcome you to the University of Memphis. I want to start off by saying this year is not normal in any circumstances. And by this year, I mean the last year and a half or so. Transitions are naturally hard, and putting COVID on top of that definitely creates another challenge for you. And so I just want to commend you on, making the next step in your educational journey by enrolling here at the University of Memphis. We're here to help you along the way. And, if you have questions beyond registering for classes, beyond this orientation experience, know that we're here to assist you. If I can give you a couple pieces of advice, 3 things that I want to share with you as you transition to the University of Memphis in unprecedented times. The first one is be sure to take advantage of all of the opportunities that are afforded to you, both inside and outside of the classroom. The University of Memphis is top 10 in the nation for internships. As many of you may know, we're located in a major metropolitan area. And we have access to large corporations such as FedEx, St. Jude, International Paper, AutoZone. And these organizations really partner with us to give our students hands-on opportunities, in the business sector, in medicine and healthcare, in education and social justice. And so be sure to take advantage of the opportunities afforded to you. And then the next piece of advice I want to say is get to know students in your major and start building a network of peers that you can lean on for assistance in the classroom, but then also people that you will know and be friends with and have in your network beyond your time here at the University of Memphis. And then finally, I encourage you all to ask for help. Like I mentioned, this is an unprecedented time, and so a lot of times, when you're in the virtual space, you may feel like you don't have access to the resources that are traditionally afforded to you. But know that, our departments are still open, still here to help you, whether that's tutoring or financial aid or our counseling services on campus. And so know that these services are here and are available to you as well. Once I'm done speaking, I'll share my contact information with you in the chat. Again, if you have questions or need anything along the way, let us know. We'll be glad to assist you. Before I go, I have a t-shirt here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we have 2 t-shirts that we want to give away. And so this will be a participation point. And so if you guys, for the first t-shirt, we'll just put your name in the chat and let us know your size. The giveaway for this one is the person who is attending from the furthest away. Obviously, no one drove to orientation this morning, but if you're attending from the furthest away, or you think it's the furthest away, go ahead and put your name, your size, and your location in the chat, and we'll get a t-shirt mailed out to you. And then the second giveaway is for the person who can name our head basketball coach for the Memphis Tigers. And the first person to enter that And to the name of the coach, your name and your size, we'll get one mailed to you as well. But thank you again for joining us. As I said, let us know if you have questions along the way, and we'll be happy to assist you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Kyle. Thanks for blowing up the chat. So you did an effective job of doing that. Thank you. So make sure to put down your name, where you're from, as well as your t-shirt size, and then the answer to that second trivia question that Kyle put down. And we'll review the chat afterwards, and we'll get in contact with you as a follow-up if you were selected for the giveaway that Kyle's throwing out. So thank you, Kyle. All right, so moving on. I want to do a quick rundown of what's going to be taking place here for the next couple of hours. We are currently, it is about 9:10. We're halfway through your welcome and a little bit of an overview of the University of Memphis, what you're getting yourself into for the next several years here as a Memphis Tiger. Shortly after that, we'll interview your orientation guides, and you will break off into small groups to meet with them. They are phenomenal student leaders on this campus, and they are there to basically address any questions that you may have, especially from a student perspective, and assist you with any concerns you have, and just get some light conversation and get to know you as going. And then if you are a parent or family member that is here today, a guest, also at that time, we will have parent and family services here, staff from that office to speak with you all and talk about how to be engaged as a parent or family member. So we'll break off. So if you are a parent or family member, make sure to stay here in this large group as the rest of the students break off into small groups. At 10 o'clock, we will reconvene here as a large group, and we will discuss financial aid and fee payment. I'm sure that might be some questions you all may have about how to pay the bills, how to pay tuition, and how do you get some financial aid and scholarships here at the University of Memphis. And we have staff here to help address those concerns. Shortly after that, at 10:30, you'll be meeting with the Dean of Students, Dr. Justin Lawhead. And he's going to talk about safety, equity, and inclusion, and the resources that you all should be familiar here with, and that we provide to make University of Memphis as safe as a campus that it is. And then after that, we have some special interest workshops. You'll have an opportunity to choose from 2 of the 4 breakout sessions that we have. And Are You Career Ready by Career Services, Navigating Technology Resources. A lot of technology goes into being a Memphis student, and we have a couple Memphis students, a couple orientation guides to assist you with that process and answer any questions you may have. Residence Life, Tigers Live Here. If you're interested in living on campus, we have a staff member from that department here to talk about that. And then lastly, getting connected at the University of Memphis. So hopefully you all are looking to yes, be a great student, but also be involved on campus, be engaged, and develop your leadership skills. And we have a staff member from our student leadership and involvement office here to talk about how to get involved on campus. So with all that being said, and then after that, we can reconvene at the end back in this Zoom session to talk about closing remarks, any last minute questions you all may have, any concerns before we head out for the day. All right, so your UofM overview, driven by doing. This is our slogan here at the University of Memphis. Hopefully, maybe you've seen this on advertisements, flyers, commercials, what have you, but we are a campus of doers. This is a campus, this is a university where you'll have the opportunity to get real world experience, whether that be undergraduate research, internships in the community, job shadow experience, participating in student organizations, and also serving your community through volunteerism. Whatever it may be, there are opportunities for you to get that experiential learning and to get experience that will help prepare you for life after college. And we think that here at the University of Memphis, you have an opportunity to do that over your next several years. We are a campus that is certainly driven by doing. We're also a campus that's driven by our community. Memphis, Tennessee, I challenge you to find a community as unique, historic, rich, filled with traditions as Memphis, Tennessee. We have a vibrant business center, everything from Fortune 500 companies all the way down to small, locally owned businesses and everything in between. If you're looking to get experience in any one of those capacities in any type of business, organization, company, nonprofit, whatever it may be, there are opportunities to do so thanks to our community of Memphis, Tennessee. The National Medical Hub, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, Le Bonheur Children's Research Hospital, Methodist and Baptist hospital systems. If you're looking to get involved in healthcare, there are opportunities to do that as well. And it's also nice knowing that if something were to happen, we have a lot of healthcare resources to help take care of our students as well. Um, there's no shortage of those opportunities here in Memphis. And then lastly, our rich community and culture. Everything from Beale Street, home of the blues, world-class barbecue, um, class act music, Stax Museum, formerly known as Stax Records, home of top 100 R&B hits, the Civil Rights Museum, formerly known as the Lorraine Motel, the site where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, not too far from the Claiborne Temple, where he spoke at the sanitation workers movement strike. Just all this history, traditions, and culture intertwined into present day Memphis to make it really this unique, memorable, and historic community and time to spend your college career. So the campus itself, we're a campus of 1,600 plus acres, 8 on-campus residence halls. Strongly encourage you all, if you are able and willing to live on campus, it's a great way to be involved on campus and to be close to the action. We'll have, as I mentioned earlier, a breakout session later today from staff, from residents. I'd like to talk to you more about that opportunity of living on campus. And then also talking about downtown earlier, we're just 7 miles from downtown, maybe a 20-minute drive from campus, 10 minutes from Midtown. We have a Kroger down the street, movie theaters, bowling alleys, suburbs of 15 minutes in the opposite direction. We are centrally located to everything you can possibly want here as a college student, which again just makes University of Memphis just this unique, fantastic place to spend your college career. There we go. All right, now the students, you all. We have 22,000 plus students enrolled here at the University of Memphis. And you can see a breakdown of our student population right there. I'm not going to break down every single number there for you. You can see that for yourselves. But what that hopefully tells you all, and what that certainly tells me, is that we are a diverse campus. We are a campus filled with students that are going to look different than you do, think differently than you do, and come from different walks of life than the walk of life that you're coming from. And that creates such an invaluable experience to be able to collaborate and think alongside people with different perspectives than you bring. And it really provides this real world atmosphere that'll best prepare you for life after college. And so take advantage of those opportunities and really immerse yourself in this diverse, inclusive environment that is the University of Memphis. All right, so the classroom, driven by learning. 50 majors, 250 concentrations. Chances are, if you're looking to study something here, if you're passionate about a topic, you're interested in learning more about any given material, we have those opportunities here at the University of Memphis. We have dedicated faculty and staff to make sure that you have a world-class educational experience here. Speaking of the classroom, 15-to-1 student to faculty ratio. Not every single class you're going to have is going to be those 15 students. Sure, you might have those lecture halls and your biology 101, your econ 100. But when you get down to it, your sophomore, junior, senior year, when you get down to the nitty gritty, you're going to be a name to a face. You're going to be able to foster those relationships with those professors, because with every one faculty member, that lines up to about 15 students. They can get to know you. They can get to know your name, your interests, who you are, and that will better suit them to maybe help you out with a personal statement, a letter of recommendation, get connected within their network. Those opportunities are available here to foster those relationships with your faculty and your professors. And then lastly, a lot of study abroad opportunities. I know that looks a little different now given the pandemic, but however, this will go away. And when it does, study abroad will be an absolutely legitimate opportunity for you to get real world experience, broaden your world perspective. And speaking of financial aid a little earlier, you may not find a cheaper time to travel than here as a Memphis student due to all the financial aid opportunities that are presented to you. We have a fantastic honors college, the Helen Hardin Honors College, the largest honors college here in the state of Tennessee. If you have a 3.25 high school GPA, you're transferring in with a similar GPA from your previous institution, you may be eligible for the Honors College. And I would strongly encourage you all to look into it. It's a phenomenal opportunity to get access to some very specific classes that are designed for honor students, taught by some of the best instructors. You'll have access to advisors dedicated to honor students. You'll have priority course registration, so you get first dibs every semester at what classes and what instructors you want to take. And if anything, that means you get first dibs at class time. So maybe no more 8 a.m.s if you're a part of the Honors College. And then also there's an honors living learning community. So if you are interested in living on campus, I would strongly encourage you all to think about partaking in the living learning community. This is a floor of students that share a theme, and this theme would be Honors College. So you are sharing a floor with other students in the Honors College, and it's a great way to make friends and to hold each other accountable. All right, career services. I'm not going to spend too much time about career services. You'll have an opportunity to participate in their breakout session here a little later this morning, but just know that we have dedicated career specialists here to address any of your needs and questions and concerns about employment and professional development. They can assist you with your resumes, cover letters, mock interviews, personality assessments, and help link you up with potential internship opportunities, whether it be here in Memphis or in other parts of the country. And again, if you want to learn more about those opportunities, definitely encourage you to check out our breakout session here later today with a couple staff members from Career Services. All right, so driven by engagement. Hopefully you all are interested in maybe getting involved
Now you
on
are
campus.
serious.
Getting involved on campus, whether that be joining a student organization, volunteering in the Memphis community, joining a Greek organization, whatever that may be. Definitely encourage you to get involved. It's another way to build your resume, develop your leadership skills, and make friends and build that sense of belonging here on campus. And again, if you're interested in involvement, we do have a breakout session later today from student leadership and involvement from one of their great staff members to talk about those opportunities. Driven by value. Again, after your small group of the orientation guides, we'll talk about what do fees look like? What's the cost of tuition? What kind of aid is available for you? All those questions will be made available to you all. All those answers will be made available to you all here in a little bit at 10 o'clock. Well, you'll hear from a couple staff members from Financial Aid and Scholarships and the University and Student Business Services to address any of those questions that you may have. Then lastly, at the end of the day, this is all driven by you all, the students, the incoming class. We are excited to have you here at the University of Memphis. We are looking forward to seeing the impact you all will have on this campus. And please take advantage of today. Ask any questions, whether it be with the orientation guides here that you are about to meet, or with the staff that you will meet throughout the day. And obviously, if you're not able to ask any questions here today, or you're not comfortable asking any questions, then please, our contact information will be shared later on today. And do not hesitate to contact us. We are here to assist you all, and we are excited to welcome you all on our campus throughout the day. So, with all that being said, I want to go ahead and, ooh, hello, that was an automatic skip. My apologies. There we go. I want to go ahead and introduce our orientation guides. Oh, that's just an automatic thing. Oh, there's music. Hold the phone here. Okay. I want to go ahead and introduce our orientation guides. So I'm going to stop sharing actually, and I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves and before we break off into our small groups. So I'm just going to go with the first orientation guide that I see. So Sage, if you don't mind getting the ball rolling.
Yeah, sure. Can y'all hear me? Is my connection okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, hey, everybody. My name is Sage Harris. I'm a sophomore political science and communication double major, and I'm from Carterville, Tennessee.
Great. Thank you, Sage. Caleb.
Hi, everybody. I'm Caleb Carey. I'm a sophomore business economics major from Jackson, Tennessee.
Ruben.
Hey, all. My name is Ruben Moraney. I'm a senior psychology major from Jackson, Tennessee.
Victor.
Hi, everybody. I'm Victor Delgadillo. I'm a junior biology and chemistry double major from Memphis, Tennessee.
Kiara.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kiara Amador. I am a junior healthcare leadership major from Memphis, Tennessee.
Cade.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cade Forbes. I'm currently a sophomore communications major, and I am from Brighton, Tennessee.
Sweet. All right. Emma.
Hi, so my name is Emma McCormick. I am a junior exercise science major, American Sign Language minor from Saltillo, Mississippi.
Nikki.
Good morning, guys. My name is Nikki Patel. I'm a junior nursing major and healthcare and society minor from Camden, Tennessee.
Awesome. Rihanna.
Hey guys, my name is Rihanna Cavness and I'm a junior nursing major from Milan, Tennessee.
And then it goes away. I think Liz, I don't see you, but I think you're here. Liz, are you here?
Yes.
Awesome.
Hey, everyone. My name is Liz Murphy. I'm a senior international relations and German and Spanish double major, and I'm from Boston, Massachusetts.
Awesome. And then I think Leroy. Leroy, are you here? I don't see you as well, but I think you're here. Are you here, Leroy?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. I'm Leroy Taylor. I'm a sophomore nonprofit development and organization major from Carville, Tennessee, and a marketing media minor.
Awesome. Okay, and I think that's all the guides. You all nailed it. Good job. I think it's been a while for some of you to do that introduction.
Brian.
So, oh, Jay, I didn't see you. No.
I will fight you, Brian.
You can, and I will welcome that fight. That's understandable. That is fair. Haley, Jade, and Jade. I have missed several, so Jade, go for it.
You're good. Hi, guys. I'm Jade. I am a junior creative mass media major from Nashville, Tennessee.
Awesome. Thank you, Jade, and please forgive me. And then we also have Estrella.
Hi, y'all. I'm Estrella Daniels. I'm a sophomore social work major from Clarendon, Arkansas.
Awesome. Thank you, Estrella. And then last but certainly not least is Haley.
Hey, everybody. I'm Haley Lester. I'm a senior organizational leadership major from Trenton, Tennessee.
Okay. And you all also nailed the introduction, so I appreciate that. Thank you for saving me right there. My apologies. All right, so what's going to happen here, everyone just introduce themselves. We're going to go ahead and break out into some small groups. In each one of your small groups, you will have about 2 to maybe 3 orientation guides present. They're going to reintroduce themselves. They have some questions to get the ball rolling a little bit, but really it's also your time. It's your time to ask them any questions that you may have. And if there's any point that they aren't able to answer any questions, it's no problem at all. We're going to reconvene here at 10 o'clock. And we can address more of those questions later through the different presentations that we have throughout the rest of the day. So with all of that being said, I am going to try to open the rooms. Let's see if this works out okay. And then I need to, let's see, and then we're going to get the ball rolling here. So you should be getting invites shortly. Okay. And then, oh, yeah. One second. Taking a little bit to populate, but as they pop up, just go ahead and accept that invite. And then if you're a parent, family member, go ahead and stick around here. And if you do receive an invite, if you're a parent, family member, don't accept that invite because we're going to stay here to have that session. So if you receive an invite and you are a guest, not an incoming student, just stick around. Trying to make sure everyone gets to a room. Shoot, what's going on here? All right. Rachel, I see you. Thank you for being here, Rachel. Still breaking off here. And I'll give you capabilities to share your screen here shortly.
Okay, give them to Lindsay. She's somewhere here. She's
Okay.
here.
Cool. I'll give it to Lindsay. And then again, if you're a parent or guardian,
I'm here for
please
moral
just,
support.
all right, totally fine. And again, if you're a parent or guardian, family member, guest, please do not accept the invite. You can stay here. You all may have gotten an invite too, who knows? So if you did, I apologize. But okay, cool. Everyone should have an invite now. Let's see. Lindsay, let me give you capabilities to share your screen. All right, Lindsay, I just made you a co-host, and that might have given you the ability to share your screen.
Looks like I have those capabilities now. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I really appreciate our parents and guests and family members out there who are joining us. I know that this is a different way to do things and a different way to do orientation. So thank you for taking the time out to support your student today and join us. So my name, as Brian said, my name is Lindsay Bray, and I am the Senior Coordinator for Parent and Family Service here at the University of Memphis. And along with myself in our office is also Rachel Duvall. I'm gonna let Rachel, do you want to say hi real quick?
Okay. Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Rachel Duvall. I'm a UofM alum, getting my master's, been here, stayed here, love it here.
So our office is really here to help you help your student. We are here to make sure that you have the resources that you need to help your students succeed while they are here. You can also think of us as your own personal for the University of Memphis. So any questions, big, small, anything that you have, we are here to help you answer those, and so that you can make sure that your student is successful. So a little bit about what our office does and what we're here to help you with. So our main mission is to help to support, inform, and engage you, University of Memphis community. We know that you have been an integral part of your students' educational career, and we want to make sure that you have what you need in order to help them along the way. Secondly, it is to advocate for that family involvement. So we have opportunities for you to get involved on our campus, to be involved, whether it's here on campus, virtually, or just with your students to kind of help them along on their journey. Lastly, it is to provide those opportunities. So those opportunities look a little bit different while we're in the midst of this pandemic, but we still have a lot of great opportunities for you to get involved, to get connected, and to really kind of be part of our Tiger family just as much as your student is. So when I talk about family, just to clarify, family is not just mom and dad. Family is anyone who cares and supports your student. So whether you're a mom, a dad, aunt, uncle, parent, guardian, Maybe there's a spouse out there. We've had those join us before. Anyone who is here to really kind of help their student along and support them in their educational journey is included when I say parents and families. So please feel like you are included and that you are part of this process as well. So many of you may be familiar with the term helicopter parent or bulldozer, snowplow parents. So we really do not like those names here at the University of Memphis and in our office. We really want you to be involved. So there is a place for you to be part of it. We just know that there is a place for you to be helpful. And we would rather you think of a tandem bicycle instead of that snowplow or that helicopter instead. So when we think about a tandem bicycle, so when your student was young, they were on the back of the bicycle. You were the one who making those decisions for them. You were really kind of creating well-rounded education inside and outside of the classroom that allowed them to become the person that they are today. As they got older, their legs got a little bit longer. They started helping you make those decisions. So maybe you had them going to dance lessons or soccer or football, and they said, I don't really want to do that anymore. I'm more interested in band or piano, or I really need to work this summer and make some money to go to college. So there are a lot of things that they have kind of done along the way as they've gotten a little bit older to make those decisions kind of help in that process as well. And so now that they're here at the University of Memphis, the seats are switching just a little bit, but you're still on that bike with them. So you are there to kind of help them through this journey. You are here to help them pedal up those really high hills when it comes to those big exams, those midterms, is it a romantic relationship that doesn't go as well as they thought it would, that they need some extra help with. So you are there to still support them, and you're also there for the really, really good times when they get that job or internship, when they get that A or B on that test that they've studied for weeks for. So you're still there with them on the bike. You're still there to help them succeed, but we're gonna let them lead at this point now. And so I really like to think of it kind of as an equation. A very simple equation is connection plus engagement plus involvement, and involvement plus support all equals student success. And each of these things are all ways that your students should get involved, but it's also ways that you should be involved as well. So that connection piece. We want you to be connected to the University of Memphis. We know that students who have parents or family members who are connected to the university, who are involved in some way, who know what's going on, are more likely to succeed. They're more likely to stay in school, and they're more likely to graduate quicker. That engagement and involvement piece, as I mentioned, there are ways for you to be involved and engaged with the university, whether that's coming to an event, being part of our social media, engaging in our virtual opportunities. All of those things are there for you to get involved and engaged. And just like the connection piece, it really kind of adds on that extra layer of connecting you to the university and making sure that you have a place here as well as part of our Tiger family. And lastly, that's the support. So we want you to be able to have that opportunity to help your student when they ask you a question. So if they're a little unsure of how do I pay my bill, or I'm really struggling in this class, like what am I going to do? You can suggest the tutoring services because you know they exist. You can help them through that bill payment process if they have some questions, they need to navigate those finances. We want to make sure that you have that information so that you can help support your student overall. We also want to make sure within all of this, that really equals that student success. So if your student has each of these pieces, so if they get connected, they're engaged and involved, and they have the support that they need, that will equal the success. But even better is if you have each of these parts and you are part of the journey, that also kind of equals and helps them on that road to success as well. So a few of the common issues that your student might face. So if your student may be transferring institutions, or if this is their first semester, that is fabulous. But there are a few issues and common ones that we see our students face that I really like to talk a little bit about with our families to make sure that they're aware of them as they may come up. So first and foremost is emotional stress. We are living through an unprecedented time. As we all know, we have really been, and I hate to use that word unprecedented because I know we've heard that so many times over the last 9 months, but it's true. And so, but in addition to that, we're also topping it with a major transition for your student. So that transition to college is a huge one. And so be aware that your student may be under some extra emotional stress. You know how they deal with it. You know how they can get through that. So help them through that, and just be aware that there may be that extra layer as they transition to a new institution or to their first semester of college. Homesickness is also a big one if your student is living on campus. I think also many of our students are also experiencing this in a different way this year too, because they're not having the same connections with their peers that they normally would as well. You know, high school ended very differently in the spring. And so we don't have those same connections. So just be aware that's another one that they may feel like they need a little bit more sense of home than they would have normally. Academic challenges. So this is a big one for many of our students. So maybe this is the first time coming to college that they are challenged academically. Maybe they breezed through high school and did great, but they get into some really challenging classes and they're really struggling. So this is a great time for you to kind of help them work through that, make sure that they have the support, suggest those resources that they can utilize in order to get through those academic challenges, but also know that sense of challenge is a good one. It helps them to grow. It helps them to build some resiliency in their own life as they move forward, because we all face challenges. We know that as we get older. And so we want to make sure that they're aware of those, but that we can work through those too. Finding their identity. So this is also a really big one. College is a new time for your student to maybe kind of find their new place. So obviously we're doing a lot of things virtually, but they're going to meet new friends, new people. So where do they fit into that group? That may be a little bit different than it was in high school or their other institution. And so that's an important thing to realize, that your student, as they are growing and learning here at the University of Memphis, that their identity is changing a little bit, that they are growing up, they are becoming an adult, and they will progress through that. So be aware of that, and that they may struggle a little bit as they kind of find that new identity as an adult, as an emerging adult here at the University of Memphis. So a few conversations that I highly recommend that you have with your student if you have not already had them previously, or ones that really I think you should have every semester with your student while they're in college. So first and foremost is a communications plan. Have that conversation now with them about when you want to communicate with them. Do you expect to talk to them once a week, daily, twice a week? When do you expect to? If they're not able to text you back immediately, is that going to be a problem? Have those conversations now about what it means to communicate as a family. I always throw this story out. My husband, this was much before, many moons ago, long before text messaging and other things existed, but he and his family talked every Sunday night. That was their routine. That's when they expected to hear from him. And that exists still to this day. That's their routine, and that's when they still talk, at least on Sunday evenings every week. So think about those things. And if you have, an extroverted student who is going to call you a lot more, great. If you have an introverted student who's not going to talk with you quite as much, that's particularly when you might want to set up a routine with them. So grade expectations. This is a really big one. One of the things that we know about a lot of college students is they don't always have a lot of common sense. So do you expect to see their grades at the end of each semester? We do not have a portal system where parents or family members or a student can give access to that yet. So we don't have a way to do that. So what I always recommend is that if you expect to see their grades at the end of the semester when they're final, because they do go final the Thursday after final exams, that is each and every semester. So you can write that down and make sure that you know that. But what I would recommend is you have that conversation now. You say, I expect to see your grades at the end of the semester. And we're going to sit down the Thursday after final exams, and we're going to log in to the My Memphis portal, and you're going to show them to me. You're going to also say that in a couple of weeks, maybe when you check in with them next. You're going to, when you talk with them on their wellness days, when you're checking in with them during the semester. You're also going to mention, hey, I hope you're doing great. I can't wait to see those grades the Thursday after final exams. And then during exams, hope you're doing a great job. Can't wait to see those grades the Thursday after final exams. And so you're going to then sit down and your student's going to know what you expect. And the thing is too, is if your student gets a little like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure if I can log in. I don't know if I can show you those. You already know at that point that they're probably not good. So just be aware that you can kind of get some indications along the way as well when it comes to those grades, and knowing along the way. But make sure that you are having the conversations and having them regularly so that your student is aware of it. So that at the end of the semester, when you're like, okay, you're going to show me your grades, right? And then they're like, no, I'm not ready for that. You've had those conversations along the way and you can say, well, we've talked about this many, many times over the last semester. So that's a good way to do that. And that really leads me into my second one that I really think is very important for you to have a conversation with your student about every semester in particular is finances. So that combined with grades are two huge big ones for most parents and families. You want to know that they're going to get a great education, you know, that you want them to graduate, and you want to know how it's going to get paid for. So a big part of finances is having that conversation of, okay, so what scholarships do you have? What financial aid do you have? What do we need to do to make sure I get it? But also it's looking at those scholarships and saying, well, what GPA do you need to keep that scholarship? Do we have these grades? What grades are we going to need to have? So for example, many of our students have the Hope Scholarship and they come in with that. The first round of check for the Hope Scholarship grade-wise is a 275. But the next check 2 years down the road is a 3.0. That is really difficult for a student to get from a 275 to a 3.0. So it's making sure that your student understands now that in order to keep that Hope Scholarship, they need to keep that 3.0 the whole time instead of trying to go just for the bare minimum the first time and potentially losing it because they're not sure they can get it the next time. And to that as well, it's having the conversation of, well, if they can't maintain that, you know, they've worked hard, but unfortunately they can't maintain that or something else happens, who's going to pay for that? Who's going to make up that difference? So have those conversations now prior to that so that they're aware of it. As well in the finance portion is, are you going to be able to help them? Do they need to go get a job? Do they need to have a little bit of running around money or think, you know, some extra book money, or what are they expected to contribute at this point? So have those conversations each semester and help them with that, because I'm sure you have grown in your financial acumen as you've gotten older. We all get better at budgeting and understanding what it means to be a good steward of our money. So help your student along that route on the front end with those finances and understanding that college is a value and it is an important one, and it is a cost to that as well. So have that conversation as a family as you move forward. The other one is a self-management as well. So are they ready to manage their own time? Do they have their planner? Are they prepared to do that? I know many of your students will probably be taking some hybrid classes along with some online classes. They maybe even be able to be in some of our on-campus classes as well. So help them kind of think about that. How do they need to manage themselves? Don't do it for them, please, but help them through as you're walking through those steps and have those conversations of, are they ready? Do they have those resources in line for themselves to do that? As well, I would say that grit and resiliency. So I mentioned that a little bit more or a little bit before with those academic challenges. So help them know that it's okay to have those challenges. It's okay that they're going to struggle a little bit, and that this semester or this year or whatever it comes as it goes into the future is not going to be a breeze, but it's okay to build up those things, and it's okay to learn from those next steps as they move forward and to build those traits as well, because that's really, really important and for any of our students and any of us in life as we build those resiliency skills to understand how we cope with those and how we can move forward and use those to our benefit. And so lastly, it's that having that last conversation is really when to ask for help. So encourage them to ask for help. There's nothing wrong with it. That goes to that grit and resiliency. Let them know that there's our counseling services, our tutoring services. There are all sorts of things out there for them to help them along their journey. So a few things we recommend that your students should do each and every semester, but particularly this first semester. So get involved with a student organization, number one. I know that's a little different this semester, particularly being virtual, but encourage them to get on, go to some events, get to know people in their class. Meet with their academic advisor. Advising and registering for summer and fall classes happens very quickly. It happens in April, but they need to start making those appointments pretty soon into the semester. So I encourage them to do that. I encourage them to build their relationships with faculty and staff. It may seem very weird in a virtual environment, but encourage them to email their students or email their faculty members, excuse me. Build up those relationships. When faculty members get to know their students, take advantage of those office hours, those types of things. That's really, really important. Staff are also here. We are here to help your student as well. Encourage them to reach out as well. And like I said, seek that help if they need it, whether that's counseling, career services, or our tutoring office. So a few things that we recommend that you do in order to help your student and really partner with us. So first and foremost, listen to what they have to say. Many of your students are probably living at home more than we normally would have this semester, but listen to what they have to say. You don't always have to fix it for them, but just listen, be their sounding board. Sometimes it's nice to have somebody that's outside of the situation. Always ask, how are you going to handle that? So try not to be that fixer for them. I know that's really hard sometimes for some of our moms, but let them fix it. I promise it'll be okay. End every conversation with go to class. And I even mean that in an online situation too. So encourage them to make sure that they're logging on if they have a hybrid class, or that they're logging on a regular basis if it is an asynchronous class as well. So make sure that they are going to class and being involved in those ways. So set expectations with your student each and every semester, as we talked about. Be understanding of the demands of college. So particularly if they are living at home and doing their online classes, they may really have a lot of things that they need to do. A lot of studying, a lot of classwork, discussion posts, things like that. So help them make that schedule like they would if they were here on campus and living on campus. Be really understanding of those demands and the changes that are happening for them. Ask open-ended questions, have those open conversations with them to get to know what's going on in their classes. So embrace the University of Memphis traditions. We encourage you to wear blue on Fridays. That's what we all do here. Get to know the fight song, go to some athletic events, get involved with parent and family services as well. So we really encourage you to kind of embrace the University of Memphis traditions, because you are very much part of our Tiger family as well. So we encourage you to stay connected. We have a lot of ways for you to do that within our office. And then another option is to join our parent and family association. So this is a great way to be involved, engaged, and connected. You get some really great benefits like our welcome bag. You get our e-news every other week during the fall and spring semesters. We've got some priority registration for our events, parking passes. Students are eligible for scholarships as well. And then we do seating at commencement just for our PFA members. And so I want to put this up here as your contact information, but I would highly recommend you check out our website and our social media. So we do on a regular basis, we do our Tiger Talks, which happen every other week during this semester. And so those are talks that we have, Q&A sessions with our administrators from around campus that go over lots of different topics. We have a lot of archived ones on there that have happened over the last year. So they do still have a lot of that information that would be happening right now as well about our virtual services. So we encourage you to get involved. We are going to have some great events, some great virtual opportunities to get to know you and to get connected. And we really hope very soon that we can host you on our campus and bring you here and really get to have a fun events that we would normally have once this pandemic is all over. So here's our contact information, but I would like to leave you with a quote because it's one of my favorites, and I think it is true for all of our parents and family members. So it's a big thank you from us. So while we all hope that our children will do well in school, we hope with great fervor that they will do well in life. Our job is to help them know and appreciate themselves deeply, to be resilient in the face of adversity, to approach the world with zest, to find work that is satisfying, friends and spouses who are loving and loyal, and to hold a deep belief that they have something meaningful to contribute to the world. So thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I look forward to working with you over the next few years while you're students here at the University of Memphis. If you ever need anything, seriously, big, small, I've answered anything and everything, I promise. I've worked for the university for about 11 years now. So I look forward to working with you. So please feel free to give us a call if you ever need absolutely anything. So thank you so much.
Woo. Awesome. Thank you so much, Lindsay. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being here and presenting that information.
Thanks.
Do any of our parent family members have any questions for Lindsay or Rachel?
No, sir, I don't have any questions.
All right. Good.
I do. I have a question.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm a parent of a student who's in the National Student Exchange Program with the honors program, and I was wanting to talk to an advisor about. I think they coded her financial aid incorrectly, so I needed to talk to someone directly, I guess, after Zoom to make sure that everything's going okay, because they had sent her an email. We had been avoiding the email because we thought it was just for the regular students. She's a junior actually coming in from Mississippi State University. And she's going to be in the mass communications and as the honors national student exchange. And I just needed, I guess, a direct person to call to ask about the if they coded it wrong or what's going on with it.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think we can definitely get that addressed. It sounds like you're looking to maybe talk to someone in financial aid potentially. Is that what I'm hearing correctly? All right. Yeah. So
yeah.
Perfect. So we have Matthew Rhodes in financial aid. He'll be speaking here within the half hour. So he might address your concern in his presentation. But if not, also be leaving his contact information and the contact information for that office. So we can definitely get that addressed prior to today's end.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But in the meantime, Lindsay, Rachel, thank you so much for your time. Any questions do pop up when y'all are out, I'll make sure to share your contact information again, and we can get them in the right direction for sure.
Thank you, Brian, for having us, and thank you to all the parents and families for joining us.
Thank you. Okay. All right, well, students, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your small group session with your orientation guides, OGs. I hope they went well, and I'm looking forward to hearing about it. Nice. Okay, cool. Nikki just shared some helpful information in the chat, so if you're in her group, definitely check out that information. Let me see. Tracy, are you here?
I am here. Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Tracy. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Awesome. I'm going to share my screen here in a minute so we can go ahead and move forward with Tracy's presentation from University and Student Business Services. Emily, we'll go ahead. Yep. Thank you, Sage, for sharing that information. We'll go ahead and let me see, share my screen for that. All right. Oop, I want to do this. And, all right. Tracy, do you see the presentation?
I do. Thank you.
And then Tracy, I don't know if it's me or if it's, are you able to, I'm having a hard time hearing you, I think.
Okay. I'm going to cut it up some. Can you hear me now? I got it up as loud as it can go.
Okay.
Is that better?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I'm ready when you are.
Perfect. All right, I'm good to go. Let me move on to the next slide.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm Tracy Gillespie. I'm in the Student Business Service Office. I am the Assistant Bursar for Customer Service and Campus Card. I'm glad you're with us this morning. This presentation is going to go over many aspects of our office. You will hear people refer to us as the Bursar office. We changed our name the past couple of years to USBS, or the University Student Business Service Office. So that's who we are. And I'm going to go through an overview of things you can expect from our office. Next slide. Our office comprises of our Student Financial Services Office, with the ID office, the cashier's office. We can also help answer questions about installment payment plans, any repayment plans that you have, and also customer service, anything on your account. We're located in 115 Wilder Tower, the tallest building on campus, on the first floor in 115. So if you come by, we're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. Okay? We communicate to students through your University of Memphis email. So be sure to monitor your university email for important information, and always contact our office from your university email account for security reasons. This is the only way we can provide specific information about your account and verify that we're speaking directly to you. In addition to monitoring your UofM email address, we also provide 24/7 access to your student account via Tiger Express. You will use your personal login, and you can access it through your My Memphis portal. Once you're logged into Tiger Express, you can view your account activity and your e-bills. You can also remit your payment for your tuition and fees, and sign up to receive e-bill notifications and text messages. We also have a functionality for you to sign up for e-refunds. That would be the quickest way for you to get your refunds. If you do, anytime your financial aid applies to your account and you do it in money, and it'll go directly into your checking or savings account. Also on Tiger Express, you can view your 1098-T tax information, and you can set up an authorized user on your student billing account for your parents to be able to also go in and log your account information. And you will want to do that also if your parents want to call or come in person to talk about your account, and you're not present because of FERPA laws. We have to have your authorization to be able to speak to them about your account. Again, just talking about the authorized user. So this provides your authorized user access to log in again to view your e-bills and to make payments on your behalf. And they'll also receive, anytime we send out e-bill notifications, text messages, and information about your 1098-T. They'll be notified as well. Okay, we offer a cost of attendance estimator to help you familiarize and calculate your tuition and related fees. It provides you an estimation based on your level, your residency classification, and your anticipated credit hours, or how much your tuition will cost. It also allows you to add in your housing charges and meal plans to estimate. So you can get to this by going to our website at memphis.edu/USBS and NSO. We'll provide a link for you to be able to get to that information. Our estimated tuition and fees for this academic year are available and posted on our USBS website. And we also make it available in your student e-bill. Our tuition charges are based on student residency level and your status. So there are different rates based on your Tennessee resident, non-Tennessee resident, and international undergraduate students. You'll note that at 12 credit hours or more, the university service fee remains the same price for all residential classifications. Students classified as Tennessee residents pay the same rate for tuition for any number of credit hours over 12. So please note any additional educational fees such as lab, course, and material fees may apply in excess to your tuition. And your online courses may also be assessed in additional per credit hour. We also offer a guaranteed tuition plan. This means that the rate of tuition will remain the same for 4 consecutive academic years for all first-year, first-time in college university students. For students who participated in dual enrollment, you're still considered a first-time college student for guaranteed tuition purposes. The tuition rate for guaranteed plan is currently $1 more per credit hour. However, it is locked in for 4 consecutive academic years. And please note that the university service fee may still apply. Also, first-time in college students are automatically placed in a guaranteed tuition plan, and you have, one time to opt out. And once you opt out, you cannot get back into it. Just want to make that note. I'm ready. I'm sure you've already received information on yesterday that we have fee payment deadline. If you've been receiving your e-bills, text messages, notifications, so that did occur on yesterday. Just to let you know, going forward, every semester, we will continue to send out notifications and reminders and emails, e-bills about your statement account. And that we also have an installment payment plan to help you to avoid the registration from being canceled. So I will get into more of that in a little bit further. Now, FYI, the first year class is Tuesday, January 19th. If your fees are not paid by Thursday the 21st, you will incur a late payment fee of $100. And you have until 4:30 if you have not already put yourself enrolled in an installment payment plan or paid your tuition and fees. Just FYI. And also, the 29th is our final drop for non-payment. The registration portal will close at 4. So make sure that you have all of your fees, like I said, enroll in an installment payment plan or pay by then, or you will incur a $100 late payment fee and a $100 late registration fee. So I wanted to go over some of the payment options available to you. We have a tuition assistance payments that will help cover your charges, including financial aid and scholarship awards. We'll have VA or military benefits. We have state of Tennessee dependent tuition discount programs as well. For any amount that's not covered by tuition assistance, you can pay online by enrolling in an installment payment plan. You can mail in a check or money order payment, and you can also, international students, pay through Flywire portal. We do have a Tiger Express available for you to pay using your credit card, but please know that an additional 2.85% processing fee will be applied to using your credit card. If you use an e-check, there's no payment, no charge or extra payment for using an e-check online. So that is an available option for you to pay on Tiger Express, and you do not have to come in person. We also, like I said, we have a tuition discount program. So we do offer and process dependent tuition discount program. If your parent is a licensed teacher in a public school system, thank you. If your parent is a licensed teacher in a public school system in Tennessee, or an employee of the state of Tennessee, the Tennessee Board of Regents, the Tennessee Public University, or a Tennessee State College employee, you can turn in your discount forms to our office, and we do accept your forms. You can email it to Bursar, BURSAR_AR@memphis.edu. You can email it to us, and you can bring it in person. Please note that the form must not have been certified before December the 1st for the spring semester. So there are also different dates for each term, so you can refer to our website and we'll have those dates. Anytime they have to be certified before, after that date, or we cannot accept the form. So just to let you know about that December 1st deadline for this spring semester. Okay. Now, I want to get into the installment payment plan. Right now, how the installment payment plan works, it's going to take your balance after all of your financial aid is applied. The remaining balance is going to be divided into 4 equal payments. The first payment is due at sign up, plus a $50 non-refundable fee. They're talking about now, yes, non-refundable if you sign up now. And your next 3 payments after that will be due March 1st, April 1st, and May 1st. Okay? All right. To the refund. It's important for all students to sign up for e-refunds through Tiger Express. I mentioned to you, this is the quickest way to get you to get your e-refunds. The electronic refunds are directly deposited into your checking and savings account. If not, you're going to have to wait on a paper check, and their process is a little slower. So you can go to Tiger Express again, sign up for e-refunds, and this spring, the first processing will be beginning on January the 15th, and we do it each day after. Like again, that's the quickest way to get it because we process it every day, and checks will only be mailed to the mailing address in our system. It's only processed once a week on Friday. Okay. This diagram represents the disbursement process for financial aid and scholarships to your student account. We will assess your tuition and fees based on your registration. We've already done that. Then the Financial Aid and Scholarship Office will update your eligible pending awards to our office. The day after the fee payment deadline, beginning today, we will apply your eligible financial aid and scholarships to your student account. Your financial aid will be applied to your tuition, Tiger Eats and Dining, and then housing. On January the 15th, we will begin to refund any excess aid. Okay? Your ID card is your key to good food around campus. With this card, you can access your student activities and events like the football and basketball games. It also gives you access to use the Tiger Eats meal funds for you to be able to load Tiger funds in your account and use in a bookstore. And also, we have a new way for you to be able to do that. You can upload your card via our campus card website. Upload your own photo, I must say, for your card. Make sure there's a white background and all those specifications will be on there. Or you can come in person to our office. And again, we're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. But this just gives you an opportunity to upload the photos you want to have on your campus card. Okay. We do have a BAP program, and what that is Bookstore Advanced Payment Plan. And how this works, at the beginning of the semester, if you are accessed, there we go. If you have any financial aid in excess that's going to be refunded for you, you will be included in the BAP program. So you'll be able to go to the campus bookstore on campus and use the BAP program. And you will be receive, like I said, email notifications to your University of Memphis email account. So the BAP program for this semester already ended on Friday. If you receive those emails, that's what that was for. And if you do not take part of the program, that's fine. Your money will still go back to your card and you'll be refunded. Wait on your refund, you can go get your book fee. All right, here's the next slide. Tiger Eats, we have a lot of questions about this. Tiger Eats, how it works. All full-time students with 12 hours or more, and you have at least one course on campus, will be assessed a Tiger Eats fee. Your funds will be loaded in your campus card and will be available beginning the first day of move-in, which will be tomorrow. So beginning tomorrow, you'll be able to take your campus card and go around and eat and dine on campus. Also, if you decide to opt in to purchase a meal plan, you cannot have both. We will refund the amount of the Tiger Funds, $300, and you only be charged the meal plan price. Any unused funds, just FYI, from the fall, those roll over to the spring, but you have to use all of your funds by the last day of the spring semester or final exam, or they will expire. Okay? Tiger Funds, that's different from Tiger Eats. Tiger Funds is money that you will put on your card, or your parent can put on your card. It works like a debit card, so you won't have to carry cash. But we do have neighboring restaurants on our Highland Strip that do take Tiger Funds, not Tiger Eats. That's the difference. Tiger Eats can only be used on campus. Tiger Funds is excess funds that you will load on your card, or your parent will on the card, and you can use it off campus. And that's the difference. All right, last slide. Again, place of Gillespie, University of Student Business Services Office. Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. There's our contact information. We're in room 115 on Wilder Tower. If you have any questions, give us a call. We'd be happy to help. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tracy. We really appreciate it. We're getting some questions in the chat, but I'm going to encourage students. This is the contact information for the office. Like you said, you all are staff during this time. So if you have questions specific to you and your individual needs, it's probably best that you go ahead and contact USBS or Tracy directly, so they can go ahead and best assist you as it best fits your needs. So does that sound okay, Tracy?
That's perfect. Do you want me to answer some of these questions in the chat?
If you'd like to in the chat, you're definitely more than welcome to. Sure.
Okay, let me go and scroll through and I'll answer what I can.
Awesome. And then in the meantime, we also have Matthew. Matthew, are you here?
Yep, I am here.
Awesome. Sweet. Have your slide pulled up. So as Tracy goes ahead and messages you all in the chat, maybe provide some contact information for those of you who requested it. We're going to go ahead and move forward with student financial aid and scholarships with Matthew Rhodes. So Matthew, I'm going to go transition the slide right here. And yeah, here we go.
All right, thank you, Brian. So hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here with you this morning. My name is Matt Rhodes. I'm the Financial Aid and Scholarships Outreach Coordinator. I want to go ahead and say I did notice that just came up in the chat a moment ago. Someone has been trying to get in touch with financial aid and has not been able to. It's a very busy time of the year. We are getting hundreds and hundreds of phone calls and emails every day. So please keep trying. Also, we are going to have contact information at the end of my presentation with my specific email address on it. So if you are not able to get in touch with financial aid, go ahead and email me directly. Okay, and we will try to get you taken care of as quickly as possible. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I got a lot of information, like Tracy, a lot of information to cover, a short period of time. So I want to go ahead and get to as much of it as I can. So the first thing I want to point out to you is FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. This is step A, number one, for everything having to do with financial aid, okay, is to complete the free application for federal student aid. Now, historically speaking, FAFSA had its own website. Now it is all on studentaid.gov. So that is the correct website for you to go to complete a FAFSA. In order to complete a FAFSA, it is best to have an FSA ID. This is going to be a username and password that you're going to create to log into your FAFSA, as well as several other federal financial aid websites. So it's very important to have an FSA ID and to keep up with it. So specifically students, obviously you're the ones completing a FAFSA, you're the ones that will be in college. So obviously you would need an FSA ID. In most cases, undergraduate students, not all cases, but most cases, undergraduate students are considered dependent students. So a parent will also need an FSA ID available to complete that FAFSA as quickly as possible. So you'll see down here at our bottom of my little chart here, our 2020-2021 FAFSA has been available since October the 1st, 2019, and it is using 2018's tax information. Our 2021-2022 FAFSA, the FAFSA that will start for next year, the fall of 2021, in spring of 2022 has been available since this past October the 1st, 2020. And it is using 2019's tax information. So if you have not yet completed a 2020-2021 FAFSA for this semester, please go ahead and do that as soon as physically possible. It is also time to go ahead and complete that FAFSA for next year as well, the 2021-2022 FAFSA. So if you haven't done one or the other, please go ahead and knock that out. We'll go on to the next slide, and we're going to talk about the financial aid process, the financial aid cycle, right? You can notice this is a circle, it's cyclical, it's something we're going to repeat every year. And as I just mentioned, step A, number 1 is the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. One note that I just realized I didn't mention on the last slide, you'll notice that the first F in FAFSA is free. You should never pay an application fee for federal financial aid or state financial aid for that matter in the state of Tennessee. If you're on a website that's asking you to pay a fee, that's a scam. Don't do it. All right, so step number 1 is the FAFSA. After you have completed your FAFSA and you put the University of Memphis on it, it comes to us and we start reviewing your FAFSA to see if there is any missing required documentation. Around 30 to 40% of students who fill out a FAFSA have some kind of extra documentation as required by the federal government. There's kind of a random selection process for certain things. So you want to check your My Memphis account, and I'm going to show you how to do that here in a little bit, or I'm going to tell you how to do it anyway. So you want to check your My Memphis account for any missing documents and get those submitted to us just as quickly as you possibly can. Generally speaking, we're going to process your aid for 2 semesters at a time, a fall and spring semester. But hey, if you're starting in the spring semester, it's only going to be the spring right now. But then when we get you ready for next year, we're going to process it for fall and spring together, unless you are not meeting satisfactory academic progress standards, which I'll tell you about in a little bit also. After your aid is processed, you can go back to your My Memphis account and accept your awards as you see fit. Now, sometimes you want to wait to see what your bill is before you accept all of your awards, right? Because sometimes you're going to be offered loans. You don't know if you necessarily need them or not yet. So you have plenty of time to accept your awards after they are processed, so long as we get your information in early enough to get it to you in a timely manner. But you will accept your awards as you see fit on your My Memphis account. So you'll notice in 4 steps so far, I've mentioned the My Memphis account twice, which should demonstrate to you how important it is to know how to navigate that, right? And again, I'm going to coach you through that in just a moment in a couple of slides. Step number 5, and Tracy alluded to this just a moment ago, when the time is right, we are going to authorize your eligible awards, financial aid, scholarships, grants, loans, all of that for payment to the University Student Business Services Office. The time is usually right, a week or 2, maybe 3, depending on the semester before fee payment deadline. Okay, so around this time of year for the spring anyway. And then step number 6, as Tracy was talking about, we need to make payment arrangements by that fee payment deadline if you still have an account balance after your aid is authorized, or if you do not have an account balance, if your financial aid exceeds your account balance, you're eligible for that refund. We do encourage you to sign up for e-refund so you can get that refund quickly, as opposed to getting an actual paper check in the mail. And we'll go ahead to the next one. And on the next one, we're going to start talking about types of money. So you can see here we have we got a list of different kinds of money that might be available. These are both financial aid and scholarship programs, right? That might be available to help you pay for college. Now, one thing that I want to point out to you is this is not an exhaustive list. This is just some of the highlights. If you want an exhaustive list of federal financial aid programs, you need to check out studentaid.gov. If you want an exhaustive list of state financial aid programs for Tennessee residents, you need to check out tn.gov/collegepays. And then we have all kinds of information about our institutional scholarships on our website. But let's talk about the different types of awards. Over on the left, you will see grants. There are all kinds of grant programs. Grants traditionally are need-based aid programs. They're free monies that you do not have to pay back. There's the federal Pell Grant, the federal Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant. There are also some state grants. Now, something I want to point out to you is there are some kinds of awards that are first come, first served. So the earlier that you complete your FAFSA, the better for us to determine your eligibility for those types of awards. The federal Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant and also the main state grant, which is called the Tennessee Student Assistance Award, are 2 primary examples of first come, first served aid programs. There are also federal student loans. Both the subsidized and unsubsidized loan are ones available to students. And then there's also a parent loan for undergraduate students that's kind of an extra award that you have available to apply for if you need additional funding. I'll tell you about loans on the next slide or 2 a little bit. And then we have scholarships, and you will be pleased to see, as I am, that there are more types of scholarships than there are anything else, right? So that is good news. There's the Tennessee Hope Lottery Scholarship. I already alluded to that in the state awards. There are merit-based scholarships. These are the ones that are strictly academic based on ACT scores, GPAs, things like that. Okay, there are performance-based scholarships, such as performance art, theater and dance and music. You have athletic scholarships. You have all kinds of scholarships where you would have to have a portfolio or a tryout or something along those lines. Private and departmental scholarships. I'm going to tell you about Tiger Scholarship Manager here in a few slides. That is what houses all of our applications for private and departmental scholarships. Departmental scholarships can be academic departments or administrative departments. There are state scholarships, again, Tennessee Hope Lottery and other things like that, and outside scholarships, scholarships that are not administered directly by the University of Memphis or a state or federal government that you may earn from, national corporations or local community businesses or religious organizations and things like that. If you have an outside scholarship, we do encourage you to send those over to us. And finally, federal work study. This is an award program that you have to earn as you work an on-campus job over the course of the semester. It does not pay out towards your tuition and fees on the first day of classes, or on fee payment deadline, excuse me. So you want to make sure that you are not calculating federal work study towards your account balance, right? But everything else on here, the loans, the grants, the scholarships can apply towards your account balance. One other note I'll say before we go to the next slide, you'll notice that I have asterisks on several of these awards. The ones that do have asterisks, and I don't know if I'm saying that word correctly or not, so excuse me if I'm not, these are ones that are influenced in some way by the FAFSA. So you'll see that the vast majority of them have the asterisks on them. So the FAFSA is very important for everybody to complete no matter what, okay? So that is that. The only two that I don't have asterisks on are the merit-based and the performance-based, which those are scholarship opportunities that you earn yourself. Not all of these are strictly based on the FAFSA, but FAFSA information at least influences them, okay? And we'll go on to the next one. I'm going to talk about loans real quick for just a brief moment. So what do we need to know about loans? Number one, you'll see it at the top, they must be paid back. If you borrow loan money, you need to anticipate that you are going to pay loan money back eventually, okay? There are three major types of loans that we deal with. I'm going to talk about the first two first, the subsidized loan and the unsubsidized loan. Both of these, they have way more similarities than they have differences. So let me tell you about the differences first. The differences are that the subsidized loan does not accrue interest while you're in school, and the unsubsidized loan does accrue interest while you're in school. Okay, so that top one, the subsidized loan, interest-free while you're in school. If you're enrolled in enough credit hours, which is 6 to be eligible for student loans, and you take out that amount, it is interest-free while you're in school, plus an additional 6 months after that. And then it starts accruing interest after you are out of school. The unsubsidized loan starts accruing interest as soon as it disperses to you. Okay, so that's really the only difference between them. Everything else about them is the same. The subsidized and unsubsidized loan, both of these are in the student's name. So students, if you borrow these loans, they are in your name, which means that you are legally responsible for paying them back, right? The interest rate on the loans, and this is actually for the 2020-2021 school year, is 2.75%. Currently, that's an APR. Again, the subsidized loan does not accrue interest while you're in school, but the unsubsidized loan does accrue interest while you're in school. Now, the interest rate here, something you need to know about that. The interest rate that is available on these loans is going to change every year, right? Which means that the interest rate available for loans in 2020, 2021, I know that says 1920, that's my fault. 2020, 2021, loans that are dispersed that are subsidized and unsubsidized have a 2.75 interest rate for the lifetime of those loans. But loans that are available next year for 2021, 2022, that's going to be a different interest rate. The loans that were available last year, that was a different interest rate. So it changes from year to year, but the interest rate that is available on the loans is a fixed interest rate for the year that you take them out. So that's a little bit confusing. So if you have questions about that, send me an email. We'll walk through it. And the final thing about these two loans, you're not required to make payments on them until you are out of school plus an additional 6 months, but there is no penalty for prepayment. So we do encourage you to make payments while you're in school. Let me talk to you about the parent loan real quick. The parent loan for undergraduate students. I am going to encourage you to exhaust all of your other financial aid eligibilities, including the student loans, before you look at the parent loan for undergraduate students for a couple of reasons. Number one, you see that interest rate is higher, right, on the parent loan, 5.3% as opposed to 2.75. Number two, it does have an application process. Parents, if you are the parent of a dependent student and you need some additional funding to help pay for school, you can apply for a parent loan for undergraduate students at studentaid.gov. or studentloans.gov, excuse me, and that is something that you can apply for in your name, right, for your students' educational expenses if you are approved. Now, the difference there is the PLUS loan is in the parent's name, so parents, you are legally responsible for paying that loan back. It does not have automatic deferment on the payments, but you can request deferment in the application. So make sure you're reading the fine print of the application if you are applying for it. Deferring payments puts the ball in your court. You're not required to make payments, but there is no penalty for prepayment. All right, that's enough about loans. Let's talk about some other stuff. Let's talk about the Hope Lottery Scholarship. So some of you are incoming freshman students, some of you are transfer students, and you may or may not be eligible for the Hope Scholarship, but for those of you who are, let's talk about how to keep it, right? I can't do a whole lot to help you earn it at this point, days before class starts, but here's how you keep it. Number one, there are 4 steps here. Number one, you have to file a FAFSA every year. I've already said that a whole bunch in this presentation already the past few minutes, so make sure that you file your FAFSA every year. Number 2, you must maintain continuous enrollment, meaning that you have to enroll every fall and every spring. Once you start college, you have to be enrolled every fall and every spring. Number 3, kind of related to number 2, you must stay enrolled at the status you were paid each semester. So if you start the semester as a full-time student and the Hope Scholarship pays out, you have to complete full-time hours for that semester. So if you're at 12 hours or more, don't drop under 12 credit hours. If you drop under 12 credit hours after starting the semester at 12 credit hours and the Hope Scholarship pays out at 12 credit hours, and you drop under and don't add classes like second session to make up for them, you will violate continuous enrollment and you will no longer be eligible for the Hope Scholarship period. And then finally, you must meet required cumulative GPAs at these benchmarks. At 24 and 48 attempted credit hours, we are looking for a 2.75 cumulative GPA. At 72 attempted credit hours and beyond, we are looking for a 3.0 cumulative GPA. However, if your cumulative GPA in the semester that you hit 72 attempted credit hours, your cumulative GPA is between a 2.75 and a 2.99, and the semester GPA, not cumulative, just that semester, is a 3.0 or better, you can hold on to the Hope Scholarship for on a provisional basis, where we're going to check you every semester. You got to be full-time. You got to have a 3.0 every semester moving forward. Just notice the question is the Hope only for residents of Tennessee? It is, among other things. Yeah, you do have to be a resident of Tennessee for that. All right, we'll go on to the next one. We're going to talk about transfer scholarships for just a moment. Some of you who are transferring to us may have applied for and been offered the community college transfer scholarship or the university transfer scholarship. Here's what you have to do to maintain that. You got to maintain a 3.0 cumulative GPA moving forward. You must earn a minimum of 24 credit hours in every academic year moving forward. So we need you to be enrolled full-time is what that means each semester. And you must complete any required service hours by June 1st of each year. So let's talk about the service hours on the next slide here. Service hours for the university transfer and the community college transfer scholarship is 75 hours, service hours in an academic year from June to June, or in lieu of service hours, you can take an honors class. If you are in the honors college and you take an honors class that is 3 credit hours or more, not 2 credit hours, but 3 credit hours or more, and you earn a B or better, not a B minus, but a B or better, that will satisfy 75 service hours for a year for you. Okay, so you can do the service hours, or if you're in the honors college and taking classes that are 3 credit hours or more, honors classes, and earning B's in those classes, then that will take care of it as well. One note that I want to bring up to you, service hour requirements for the 2020-2021 school year have been waived. So don't worry about them so much for this year, for this semester, but each semester moving forward, as you maintain that scholarship, that will continue to be your requirement moving forward as of this time. All right, and we'll go ahead and check out Tiger Scholarship Manager. As I mentioned to you a little while ago, this is our online application system for all of our private and departmental scholarships. There are over 700 scholarships on Tiger Scholarship Manager every year. This year, it's actually close to 800. You can log into your My Memphis account and access it there, okay? And Tiger Scholarship Manager is open every year from mid-November until February the 1st for applications for the following school year. So it's open right now to apply for scholarships for the 2021-2022 school year. So make sure you are checking out Tiger Scholarship Manager. You can also access it through our website, memphis.edu/scholarships. Right in the middle of the page is a link for Tiger Scholarship Manager. Okay, now then, I had also mentioned to you a little while ago, outside scholarships. These are scholarship opportunities that are not administered directly by the University of Memphis or the federal or state governments or our departments or anything like that. So from, national corporations, from community organizations, religious organizations, and things like that. If you earn an outside scholarship, we are happy to process that for you. You want to make sure that you include your name and UID number in the information that is sent to us, because otherwise we're not going to know where to put that scholarship check, right? So make sure you include information that tells us where it's supposed to go. Make a copy for your own records. That's always a good idea. And make sure you use the correct address. The correct address is not the scholarship office. It is that PO box on the screen, University of Memphis, PO Box 1000, Department 313, Memphis, Tennessee 38148. All right. And then we're going to talk about how do we access our information? How do we check out our awards and things like that? Log into your My Memphis account and click on student pages, right? That's going to be one of the options right at the top. It's a drop-down menu. On the drop-down menu, select My Finances. Now, the first thing you want to do when you get on the My Finances page is check the financial aid requirements box. Make sure you're looking at the correct aid year. For this year, that would be 2020, 2021. On the financial aid requirements box is where we will have red flags. Red flags are things that we are missing. So you remember from the first couple of slides when I was telling you about potential missing documents, that's where you're going to find out if you have missing documents. Red flags are things that we need from you. Green check marks are things that are submitted and either are processing or have been processed. So submit any documents to us as quickly as you can. Then click on down to the financial aid awards box, which should be right under the financial aid requirements box. After you click on that, select the correct age year for this year, 2020, 2021, hit submit. It's going to bring you to a page that has several tabs across the top of it. One of those tabs is terms and conditions. You need to click on terms and conditions and accept the terms and conditions. I'm going to go ahead and warn you, terms and conditions is going to mention several different types of awards, including loans. Accepting terms and conditions is not accepting loans, right? Accepting terms and conditions is giving you the opportunity to review your awards and accept them as you see fit. So go ahead and accept those terms and conditions. Then you could click on the Accept Award Offer tab, which is just to the right of the Terms and Conditions tab, and you can look at and accept your awards as you see fit. You can accept full amounts, you can accept partial amounts of loans, scholarships and grants. We're going to award you the full amount based on your enrollment. But on the loans, you do not have to accept the full amount of them if you don't need the full amount of them, right? So there you go. Or you can decline them as you see fit, of course, right? Whatever you do, make sure you hit that Submit Decision button at the bottom left-hand corner so that we can record that. And also continually check your My Memphis account for any additional requirements or updates, because things can pop up at just about any time. I encourage people to check their My Memphis account at least once a week the entire time that they are a college student, even on winter break, even in the summer, even when you're not actually actively enrolled in classes. All right, and then we got what if we don't have enough? So Tracy had referenced the installment payment plan. So what do we do if you look at all your financial aid eligibility, it's not quite enough to cover everything? Well, the first thing I'll tell you to check out is the installment payment plan. I mentioned to you a little while ago, if you are a dependent student, maybe that Parent Plus loan is an option. Make sure that whatever you're doing, you're trying to budget your semester expenses, right? So kind of plan out, if you're doing an installment payment plan, plan out how you're going to pay for that, plan out living expenses and everything else and things like that. Also, what other kinds of monies might be coming in? Tracy has referenced these things already. So the tuition discounts, parents, employers, tuition reimbursement, these kinds of things, outside scholarships from your community organizations or your house of worship may be available. So make sure that you are paying attention to any additional monies that might be available, not administered directly through the institution. And then we'll go on to a couple of other tidbits that we have. If you are borrowing loans for the first time, there are two additional steps that you have to take beyond just accepting the loans, and that is entrance counseling and a master promissory note. Both of those are available on that government website there, entrance counseling and a master promissory note. Parents, if you are applying for a PLUS loan and you are accepted for it and you want to, you are approved for it and you want to accept that loan, you also have to complete a master promissory note of your own. When you are in that government website and you see the master promissory notes, there's more than one kind of them. There's the ones for undergraduate students for subsidized and unsubsidized loan. There's a whole other one for parents who are borrowing the PLUS loan for their undergraduate students. So make sure you're paying attention to the different types of master promissory notes. I want to talk to you about summer real quick. It's an optional semester. Not all financial aid and scholarship programs are available in the summer, but some of them are. Okay, so we are going to communicate to you usually in mid-spring, usually around March, to let you know if you have any availability for the summer. So make sure you keep an eye on your My Memphis account and your Memphis email for updated information about that. I want to talk to you real quick about course program of study for federal financial aid awards, and starting next year will also be true for state awards. Course program of study means that you have to be taking classes that contribute directly towards your degree program, unsatisfied degree requirements, right? So if you've already taken all of your lower level general education requirements, then you have to start taking those specific major classes, right, for them to count as financial aid eligible hours for your federal aid programs. And again, starting next fall, state aid programs as well. If you have questions about that, feel free to reach out to me. I already mentioned this earlier, but federal work study is an award that is earned by a student as they work an on-campus job. It does not pay out towards fee payment deadline at the beginning of the semester and satisfactory academic progress. I want to separate this from scholarships. Scholarships have higher standards than this. This is specifically for your grant programs and your loans, okay? Satisfactory academic progress means that you have to have at least a 2.0 cumulative GPA, and you must be completing at least 67% of the classes that you attempt, which means that withdrawing from any class could potentially have withdrawing from classes has a negative impact on your completion percentage. So you should always check with us before you withdraw from any class for any reason, because that could affect your future financial aid eligibility. Indeed, withdrawing from classes can also affect your present financial aid eligibility in the example of complete withdrawal. So if you feel like you need to withdraw from the entire semester, please come check with financial aid and scholarships first, because that could mean that we have to cancel some of your financial aid, right? It could mean that you might no longer be eligible for the Hope Scholarship. And you need to be aware of those things before you make the decision to withdraw from your classes. So again, if you're ever thinking about withdrawing from any class for any reason whatsoever at any time, even if your professor says you should, even if your academic advisor says you should, even if the chair of your department says you should, come talk to financial aid and scholarships first so that you can be aware of how that's going to affect your financial aid and scholarship eligibility. All right, so here is our contact information for the scholarships office, for the financial aid office, and for myself. There's my email address. So if you have questions about anything, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help as much as I can or point you in the right direction towards someone who can help you. We do have our phone lines, our emails are open. We are actually open in person in a limited capacity. So if you have questions about anything, feel free to reach out to us. And again, as I mentioned earlier, someone had mentioned it's kind of tough to get in touch with financial aid. We are experiencing an extremely high volume of calls. Of course, it's the beginning of the semester. That's how it is almost every semester. So if you got any questions that you're not getting through to the financial aid office, please feel free and reach out to me, and I will do my best to get you taken care of. So yeah, that's all I got.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. A lot of questions being addressed in the chat, everyone, about sharing the presentations. After today's NSO, we have been recording it, so we'll get to find a way to post this on our virtual resources page on our NSO website. So you'll all be notified about that, and I'll share that link after our next presenter speaks. So, and then also the slides themselves. There's already a lot of great content virtually on our NSO resources page, so make sure to check that out. But I'll also share these slides on our virtual resources tab as well. And again, I'm going to go ahead and share that link after our next presenter speaks. So really appreciate everyone with your questions and being so engaged. And Matt, thank you for sharing all that information. But next up, we have, let's see, share my, there we go. Dr. Justin Lawhead, Dean of Students and Chief Health and Safety Officer. Justin, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for being here. And Justin's here to talk about campus safety and all the resources that we have in order to make sure our campus is as safe and inclusive as possible. So, Justin, please take it away.
Sure. I just have a few things. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for choosing the University of Memphis. We know that there are other selections and other opportunities out there. And so as the Dean of Students, which is obviously students are part of my title, I look forward to always welcoming and seeing new Tigers. Part of what we want to convey is what we do is for safety and inclusion at the University of Memphis. So I'm going to walk you through what our priorities are there. Brian, go ahead. So approximately 4 years ago, the Student Government Association felt like the university needed to adapt its technology as it relates to communicating with police. And so they encouraged the university to get a safety app that allows students to communicate in a way that they communicate now otherwise, through their phones, through their thumbs, through what they normally do and it's part of their life. So the Live Safe app allows you to get notices and information from the institution in regards to any securities and concerns, and allows you also to directly talk to dispatch if you have a particular incident either you want to report or you want to request assistance with. So I ask you as part of your entry into your student experience that you download the Live Safe app as part of your student time here. Next. We do have a very active police presence here, and I think it's important to note that our police are accredited and certified just as any other police officer in the city or in a community where you come from. These are not security officers. These are actually police that have gone through training. And so they have the same sort of abilities and rights as a police officer that you would may interact with within your community or with outside the city. We have both police services, which is our helpline and gets you straight to dispatch, and then Tiger Patrol when we return to some semblance of normal camp. Oh, am I yelling? I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was that loud. So I will put my voice down just a little. I'm sorry, I'm probably a little too close to the microphone. We do have a helpline with police, and so that's calling the dispatch. And then Tiger Patrol is our student patrol, which are our student escorts. One thing that I've tried to do as Dean of Students is change the purpose of this office and change what we think of Dean of Students. If you were to poll students or incoming students, they would think that the Dean of Students office is really the place that you go if you get in trouble. And my vision and forethought for the Dean of Students office is to completely change that purpose and support. So student conduct is not part of my office. It is in a whole separate building. I do oversee student conduct, but what we have here is if you run into an institution at the institution and you feel like you're not getting the support you need or the answers that you desire or are seeking, then you can reach out to my office and we'll do whatever we can to help you. And so you can submit a report about a particular issue or concern, or you can send us an email. The other thing that we have for students, if students have any semblance of food insecurity, we have a pantry that operates 5 days a week. And then if there is a student experience or an experience that you have where you run into an unexpected bill, a medical bill, a car payment, a rent issue, we have an emergency fund that can assist you to mitigate that problem so that it doesn't impact you attending the University of Memphis. This is not financial aid. It will not go to tuition because there are other resources for that currently, but this will allow you to address an incident that may prevent you from continuing your education. Okay? Finally, what we want to make sure that our new students understand that inclusion and non-discrimination is a priority for your student experience here. And so if there is a concern or incident that you have, and Brian, you can go to the next slide, that you can report concerns and complaints to the Office of Institutional Equity. I won't review all the federal statutes for you that they're a bit cumbersome and detailed, but they cover certain required institutional obligations as it relates to the topics that I'm reviewing here. And so yes, this stuff is a relatively heavy, but we also want to know that the institution is obligated to listen to any concern and complaint in regards to inclusion and non-discrimination. That's all I have for you. Obviously, you have an expedited program today. My office is, obviously we're not on premise, but if there is an opportunity for you to come on campus, we are located in the 3rd floor of the University Center, room 359. We also respond to any email at deanofstudents@memphis.edu.
Thank you so much for your time, Justin. Really appreciate that.
Thank you. All right.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Now at this time, we're going to break out. Oh, hello. What did I do there? Hold on. All right, now we're going to break off into some breakout groups. So I talked about earlier, you have an opportunity to choose from 2 out of the 4 breakout sessions that'll be taking place here shortly. For the first, they'll be at 30 minutes a session beginning at 10:55 or just beforehand. That'll go until approximately 11:25, and then the next session I think will begin at around 11:30, and that'll take place until 12. So you can see the sessions right here. Career services, are you career ready? Navigating technology resources. We'll have 2 of our orientation guides leading that session about how to access different technology that you'll need in order to be a successful student here. Tigers Live here, presented by Residence Life. If you're at all interested in living on campus, definitely encourage you to go to that session to learn more information. And then lastly, getting connected at the University of Memphis, and that'll be presented by Student Leadership and Involvement. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, what is happening here? I am going to drop those links into the chat, and then you all should be able to copy and paste those links into your own browser, into a different browser, a different tab, and then enter from there. And then at the end of that session, that first session, we'll have a couple orientation guides in each one, and they'll copy and paste the next round of sessions that are taking place. And then again, you can go ahead and pick whatever one you want to join. Before I copy and paste that, I do want to really quick copy and paste our new student orientation virtual resources here in the chat. Many of y'all have been talking about access to the presentation or access to more information, getting important documents, information. I know it's presented really quickly. So I encourage you to check out our virtual resources. On that page, the drop-down menus of different offices on campus. So if you want to learn more about financial aid, click on that tab and you'll see different documents from that office, and so on and so forth. And then after today, I'm going to upload the presentation also onto that link, and then also upload this recording onto YouTube, and then therefore onto that virtual resources tab as well. So hopefully one way or another, you'll be able to get all the information that you need, or the contact information that you need in order to get all your questions addressed. So really quick now, I am going to post these sessions into the chat. First up, here's the Tigers Live here. Here is navigating technology resources. Getting connected at the University of Memphis. And then last but not least, are you career ready, presented by Career Services. There should be staff there already, but if you're there and there's no other staff, might need to give them a couple minutes. I did inform them about 10:55 start time. So here is the Career Services one. Feel free to join any one of those sessions as you please. And then again, you can join a second session at the end of the first session. And then I'll be here if you have any questions or concerns in the meantime. So enjoy these breakouts.
That right there adds up to roughly $3.3 million. However, according to OpenSecrets.org, the internet industry only added up to a 14-figure increase in some donations.
Everyone here doing okay?
But exactly how much is unknown. That is because those figures won't have to be revealed to the SEC or another couple of months. Now, the president-elect has not yet weighed in on the social media companies freezing out the
All right, Blake, thank you so much. Tracy.
Well, an illegal immigrant with a 30-year criminal history was able to evade ICE for months because of sanctuary city laws. So what happened here?
Veteran homeowners, during uncertain times, money in the bank can bring you and your family real peace of mind. Refi Plus from Day USA can make it happen. Refi Plus lets you refinance at the lowest mortgage rate in history. Plus, get an average of $50,000 cash for the financial security you and your family deserve. Refi Plus, only at Day USA.
Call 1-866-270-4849. Here again. My son's with Virginia, and just being in our house here brings back some pretty fun memories. Our first were